most people remember what happened on 9/11. Some were alive, some were younger, some were older. I was in my 30s. It was Brainfield was around. The Twin Towers were coming down. We were out near the airport at the time, Brainfield was, and I remember talking to my business partner. We decided to bring the entire staff together and just say, like, there's a lot of awful stuff happening right now, and a lot of it's happening at airports with airlines, and we're closed. Like, go home, be with your families. We hope we'll be back at work tomorrow. Check your email. And so we left, like, we were all home within a couple of hours of this stuff happening. And I decided that I would go and hang out with a friend of mine, Phil Gruber, at his house, which was right up the road. He also had a couple other people over, and we were watching these reruns, this awful reruns of people jumping to their deaths. And it was just really hard to watch. And he said, I'm thinking about these firefighters and policemen and women who are there on site, who are dying, trying to save lives, and like what's happening to their families now. And so he said, we should try and figure out something to do to help them out. So I give Phil a lot of credit in that moment. And he talked about doing a wine tasting, like, let's have a wine tasting event, charge $250 a couple, and we'll send the money up to New York City. And I was just like, I'm not a math major, but we don't have that many friends, It's like, that's $5,000 and we'd really do a whole lot. And so he said, what are you thinking? And I said, I've always thought, like, if you could bring people together at a concert, I'm a big time live music person, like, and use that as the premise for getting people there, and then ask them for money, create sponsorships around the event. All the things that you see today didn't really exist then, but fly firefighters down from New York to tell their story. Let's put them on the ice at the Carolina Hurricanes game. Let's leverage corporate America, which we're in businesses, we're running businesses, young business leaders, entrepreneurs, social entrepreneurs is what we became. We became nonprofit leaders in an instant. And they were like, yeah, that sounds great. Let's figure it out. And within 3 weeks, we had a concert event, New York bands, all the things I just mentioned happened. We raised $60,000, not a lot compared to what we do today. But in that moment, as an all volunteer organization of young business leaders in Raleigh, we were onto something, and it's a machine to be reckoned with. And I'm really proud of it.
Wow. So wow. I'm just kind of like, in 3 weeks you did that?
Yeah. I mean, I think in the moment when there's an urgent call to action situation, a tsunami, a flood, a fire, it happens all around us. I think, Mr. Rogers called them the helpers. Look for the helpers. You need to ask yourself a question. And that question is, what's mine to do in this moment?